Happy Sunday. Good morning, afternoon, or evening. We are going through the Social Security Roundup as usual on Sundays for the week of Monday the 29th to Saturday the 4th. So here's what we had last week in case you missed any. Let's get to it. Oh yeah, Monday was a collaboration share from my participation in my friend and colleagues weekly Q&A on Wednesday evenings, Jonathan Ginsburg. And we did a little ditty there on a question that was asked regarding what to do with a CDR if you have pending medical appointments and treatment recommendations that you have the CDR now, but you know that's like in the future. And should you try to get it in? What are you supposed to do? So we touch on that when there's something that you may have coming up, but you're concerned it might not be in time for the CDR that's going on right now. September 30th, this was a little caution I shared. There was a field office glitch that occurred, and I just wanted to share it to everyone so that something for them to look out for. It was after my person, had already been found to pass medical. So she was found disabled under the rules and was now in a supposed non-medical review, which, as they state, takes 15 to 30 days at this point. And now it had been 60 days, and what the reason was and why it was a glitch that I was a little disgruntled by. Although now we have at least a light at the end of the tunnel. But if you don't know about the glitch, you're kind of spinning your wheels, right? The following day on the 1st, this would have been a Wednesday. Yeah. So we did have our live Wednesday Q&A session, which is every Wednesday, 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right on this channel. We had that at 1 p.m., but prior to that, at noon, if it came out on time, we had a share, or just our daily share. And this one was concerning the government shutdown that was to occur. And just a share, which I was able to sum up from a great share to me by one of our national organizations for Social Security representatives, NOSCR, and they described, and I shared to you, the word on what not to worry about as a Social Security disability or SSI claimant or beneficiary, um, because of the very, very many things that a federal shutdown does not impact at all. So in the Social Security world, we're kind of in a good place by and large. I'll take it. So I just wanted to go over those. We do talk about what's been paused under the federal government shutdown and what continues to roll on. And you'll find that Social Security is one of the best places to be when it comes to that. On the 2nd, so that would be Thursday, we did a regular daytime share. This one was about hypotheticals in an ALJ hearing. It was a response to a Q&A, and we plugged it in because people are always asking about the hypotheticals that are going to be coming in their future ALJ hearing. And just the more you can learn about them and understand them, the better it can be for you. Normally on Thursdays, I try to get the replay, the abbreviated quote unquote replay of the live Q&A for those that want to watch it, but not sit through the live version where there's silences. It's at least a half hour longer because as I'm scrolling through looking for questions and part twos of questions that people are putting up and I'm bouncing up and down, nobody needs to be sitting through that on a replay, right? I know that when you guys are watching it live, it's not a big deal because you guys are chatting and all that kind of stuff. But it's got to be a little old if you're not really in on the live way of doing it. And of course, everyone's welcome to join the live Wednesdays at 1 p.m. So that didn't come out Thursday, the replay, and instead it had to come out yesterday because there are times when YouTube is just very slow with processing the videos after the replay. I suppose it's for the long ones in particular, and ours tend to run sometimes an hour and a half, sometimes 2.5, depending, sometimes 3. I'm supposed to curb it at 2, but I have a hard time doing that unless I really have to be someplace because I just don't want to miss anybody's question and leave them hanging. Although I do always say, get there on time. As my husband says, because his grandpa said it, on time is late. Early is on time. But then you can get your questions in first and be in and out. Not that I want you to leave, but you could if you had to. And so that was the second. That was Thursday. Well, Thursday was the hypotheticals in the ALJ. The replay came out Saturday. Bouncing back to Friday, we had the Friday fraud law review, which again was not a typical share where we talk about a particular prosecution that just occurred or a sentencing or a conviction on SSA, Social Security disability or SSI fraud. Uh, this particular week, which was late September, the OIG reported on and kind of like a review it did of 2019 to 2023 and the SSA's handling of episodes when personally identifying information of individuals such as me or you got into the wrong hands, scamsters, what have you. And the failure was how it was reported, I believe, by staff. The amount of times it was not reported properly, not addressed, what have you. So it wasn't really about, well, how did the scamsters get in there? Because they're addressing that separately. We've already seen them make rule changes so that less fraud can continue to happen and take from the funds and all that. We've had some shares. Every time I get one, I share it because I think it's super, super important. It's something that I don't know why you would sit your hands on, when you see the money getting stolen out the door, why wouldn't you put a lock on that door? But I don't know. For years and years, it didn't happen, and now it's happening. So I'm very grateful for that. So that was it. That was Friday, and then we already said Saturday was a replay of the the replay of the live Q&A from Wednesday. Been a crazy busy week, 2 weeks actually. As you know, I've been kind of wearing a bunch of different hats trying to get an old dear friend of mine who's having some cognitive issues, uh, getting my friend resituated, secure the housing that went to default and the car insurance that went to default, and electricity getting shut off and all these horrible things. So it's been draining of both my savings and my time, but so it's entailed then therefore a lot of late nights to be prepared for everything I normally do. So I thank everybody who has given thoughts and prayers on that. I got them all through the posts and everything, both on the main page and on individual posts. Just very kind of you guys, and I appreciate it. I can use all the prayers I can get. And that's it, guys. That was the week. I hope you had a good one. I hope you're having a great weekend. And I hope you have an even better next week. As my dearly departed Granny Ellie in law used to say, happy days are coming. So she was always funny. She died at 96 a couple of years ago in 2023. And she obviously had a lot of history in her. And she would always have these great little sayings from the past. Happy days are coming, which I think usually means we're going through a little challenge right now, but better days are ahead. And I always kind of hang my head on that too. So, and so far it's always been true in my many, many decades of life myself, not as many as her. But anyway, I wish all the best for you guys. I know there are challenges right now and it's frustrating and you're tired. Just keep your chin up uh, and keep the faith and things will always work out. I truly believe that. So, and I'll be right here trying to help all along the way. So I will talk to you guys next week. Be well. Bye bye.